Jackson, today was your first NFL practice at guard. How was that experience like for you?
It was awesome. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to play football again is really just a blessing. So being able to be out there and move around and just feel loose, it felt great.
What are the biggest differences that you've noticed right now between guard and tackle?
Just everything being on both sides of you and also just having your hand in the stance the majority of the time compared to being in a 2-point stance usually.
Coach Pollack was Coach. I'm sorry, Lap. Go ahead.
Thanks. I'm just going to ask, how comfortable are you with Coach Frank Pollack's techniques that he's teaching you?
I love Coach Frank Pollack and everything that he's teaching. He's a great teacher and a great coach, and I'm really excited learning from him so far.
Coach Pollack was going over some things with you after practice. Looked like footwork. Anything in specific there that you guys were going over?
Appreciate that question, Jeff. And we were just working on just, you know what I'm saying, just getting more comfortable over me and on my guard stance and just critiquing and little nuances, different like weight shifting and where my feet exactly should be and just different angles and demeanors and things like that. Just fine-tuning some things.
The back looks pretty good. I mean, the back, you look pretty loose.
Yes, sir. It was great to just be able to just play football again, you know what I mean, especially through all I went through my pre-draft process. And I was blessed to have a good team to do my surgery and a good team to help do my rehab. So I feel great right now.
Jackson, talk about the comfort level of being with Willie Anderson and coming up here, probably realizing, wow, Willie just showed me a couple of these things, and now they're already helping me to get more acclimated to the NFL style of play.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It really just gives you a head start to already have that, you know what I'm saying, knowledge and experience coming into something like this, and really just gives you a level of security when you're learning and knowing that you can do this and you've done it before.
Thank you.
Jackson, how's it feel to be the local guy and then to put that uniform on of the Cincinnati Bengals and right from coming in right here from local high school?
Man, it's awesome. It's a blessing. It's an honor. It's a great responsibility. And I'm looking forward and excited to filling that role, you know what I'm saying, stepping into my role as a player and just putting my head down and going to work.
Jackson, you're playing guard and you're learning new techniques maybe than you had been taught at Clemson, or how similar, I guess, are the techniques that Coach Pollack's teaching you as to what you learned at Clemson? Is there a big change in that regard?
Football is still football, you know what I'm saying, as the level progresses, but everything in the NFL is just much more detailed and fine-tuned, and the little tiny minute things are what gets you beaten. So really being professional and being technically sound in everything that I'm doing is, you know what I'm saying, the biggest difference between college and the NFL.
Jackson, you're obviously going from tackle to guard. How do you prepare throughout an offseason? Like, have you got any tips on how to go about making that transition, and kind of what does that look like?
Number one thing is just getting reps, and the more you repeat something, the more it becomes muscle memory, the more that you don't even have to think about it when you go out there and do it. So just continuing to, you know what I'm saying, be on top of everything in my meetings and my training and my practice, and just continuing to rep it and just, you know what I'm saying, get experience under my belt. It's the best way to do it.
Obviously you guys have limited time here to get reps, with the mandates, but how do you kind of replicate that process in the off season? Is that something you try to do? Do you try to give your body a break? I mean, how does that work as you're ramping up for week one when you're not here?
Yeah, for me, when I was training pre-draft, I had the chance to be able to train with Coach Duke Manyweather in Texas, and also being able to work with guys like Paul and Willie Anderson. You work on football stuff like that all the time when you train with them. So being able to work not only the strength and conditioning, like physical, like body aspect, but also the technique aspect with those guys on the off season is, you know what I'm saying, what prepares you for the season.
You got on the field today, but can you describe the work that you've been doing ever since you got drafted to get ready for practice?
Yeah, ever since I got drafted, just, you know what I'm saying, lifting my weights, getting my body right, physical therapy, working more right guard and, you know what I'm saying, 3-point stance work, and getting on the field and just feeling comfortable moving around.
When you've worked with Duke, Jackson, have there been a lot of other NFL offensive linemen there that you bonded with? And I know Billy Price has worked with him. Has he been there as well?
So when I was working with Duke, it was a lot of just like pre-draft guys. And some of the top, you know what I'm saying, guys that went in the draft this year were all down there. Guys like Rashawn Slater and Alex Leatherwood and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Just guys who are just like going to be really good NFL players. So being able to be around those guys is special. But when I look forward to training Duke more is when I'll be working more with the NFL guys he works with.
Jackson, a lot of guys that are working with you in the rookie camp, they don't have the benefit of you understanding what Cincinnati's all about. I mean, you don't have to worry about your new environment. You know a lot about where you are and what's going on around you. How big an advantage do you think that is that you're able to totally focus on football and not other things that other guys are trying to get figured out?
I think it's a blessing, and you know what I mean, it's something I'm grateful for. And also being able to use the advantage I have to be able to help my teammates and be able to be a resource for guys coming in, and someone that, you know what I'm saying, new guys can be able to lean on to, you know, get their way around the city or just know little things and just being able to be there for my guys.
See, Jackson.
Jackson, obviously. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's
Jeff.
all right, Benny. Go ahead, Benny. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. After you. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
Please.
Jackson, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you if there are any guards that you look at on tape, if there are any you know, because we know you look at tackles, but are there any guards you might be looking at now?
Yeah, I love watching Quenton Nelson and Zack Martin, two of the best, you know what I'm saying, in the game. I actually used to watch Quenton Nelson highlights before every game, just like to get my mind right for just the intensity that I need to play with for the game. So being able to watch tape on guys like that is really going to be able to help me in my transition.
Thank you. Sorry, Benny. Thank you.
There you go, Jeff. Now for the hard-hitting questions here, Jackson. You have a quarterback who I believe is not a fan of Cincinnati-style chili. What, as a local guy, what is your sell to Joe and others who may not prefer coming into Cincy and are trying to get accustomed to Cincinnati-style chili here?
Man, I'm Skyline all the way, and you know what I'm saying, you either with us or you against us, and that is what it is. You know what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, to each their own. I'm not gonna pass any judgment, but there's no one rocking with Skyline.
Any of the Bengals' current offensive linemen you've been in touch with a lot so far?
Yeah, I was really close even before I even got to college with Michael Jordan, and because he hosted me on my official visit to Ohio State, and really was always just been a great resource for me and a great friend. So I've really been able to. It's been awesome to be able to reconnect with him.
Any more questions for Jackson?
He hosted you, but you didn't go there. He doesn't hold that against you?
Nah, not at all. It's all love. The people on the inside know that, you know what I'm saying, no matter where like people go, how things end up, everyone's journey is going to be different, and that, you know what I'm saying, paths cross again. So there's never any, you know what I'm saying, inclination to burning bridges or, you know what I'm saying, going crossing each other's back, stuff like that. So we've been solid from the start.
You talked a little bit about being the local guy among this group of rookies at the minicamp. Have they asked you any specific questions about places to eat or things to do or anything like that yet?
Yeah, some guys are just like looking for, you know what I mean, places to stay or places to eat or, you know what I'm saying, where to travel, where to go. And I'm able to point them in the right direction, kind of get a vibe for the city.